Bottom right, Rogue again. This time, another Protoss. Is it actually Protoss? No, it is a Zerg player, it's Reynor. Playing as Protoss. So let's see what he can do here. Blink does not break the target lock of units if you blink inside their fire range. Clem versus Reynor PvP, let's go. I actually played a PvZ, but the other way around. A while back, that was kind of funny. But I feel like Clem might be one of the strongest players with all three races. He's probably one of the guys that's the closest to be actually a competitive random player. Flash it first, yeah. But not really in StarCraft 2. I mean, in StarCraft World War, of course. But yes, if someone in StarCraft 2 could be someone who would be like a contender for a championship while playing random, I feel like Clem might be the first one who would be actually going there. It's not like we didn't have any random players, right? Gumiho used to play random in his first GSL. TLO played random. It's great players, but they didn't perform great with all races. I don't think Maru has that good of off-race, to be honest. I feel like, though, Maru's Terran is probably better than Clem's Terran. Even though it's weird to say, I feel like Maru would still be the better Terran player in a lot of ways, even though Clem is faster. And if Clem's on fire, man, he's just... It feels like you can't keep up, right? But then you will always see Clem's weakness is still his TVT, especially against the Korean Terran players. It just feels like he's not that good in the matchup. It doesn't work as well for him as the others. Also, the matchup is a little bit more unforgiving. Has kind of weird combat mechanics sometimes. Kind of sometimes things that are supposed to not work do work, and it's a little bit weird. It's so easy to throw away leads in TVT. It's super strange. Well, that's the balance council you're talking about there. Nerfing all of Maru's favorite units. Yeah, indeed. I don't know if you have seen the discussions about the Balance Council, but there have been recently, there was a great interview with Showtime and DNS. They did one on their channel. There's a video up from that about, you can watch it if you Google it somewhere on Team Liquid. It's linked there. And also Risky did do a post about how the council in general operates apparently. So you can see some of those ideas or thoughts these people have are very interesting, and they're completely going against the idea of the council, where it's more like the players on the council apparently are more trying to adjust the patch as much as possible to their own playstyle, rather than for a balanced game or like a good game, you know? So yeah, I don't know, man. We need to get rid of this balance council as soon as possible, that's my opinion, to be honest. Probably I need to call Apollo. We need to get this hero here. But I don't know. We don't deserve him, that's the issue. He's probably not gonna come back, so he's busy in overtaking all of ESL while making Counter-Strike 2 the greatest esports of all time currently. Maybe if he becomes head of operations at ESL, he's gonna find a way to make StarCraft 2 happen again. I don't know. Oh, almost losing an Oracle here. Diving a little bit deep there. Only getting a very, very small amount of damage in, actually. Now the harassment is not really present. As you can see, 2 adepts did die, 4 drones, 6 links, 1 overlord. Literally nothing happened here. Reynor is just making probes, I guess. He's just making his blink. He's gonna go for the very standard opening. I mean, the 3 oracles roaming around. He has the blink forge follow-up. +1, he has the Templar Archives follow-up. He's gonna go most likely into Storm. And then the push with that and the 4th base, something like that. And the extra second form of AoE, most likely gonna be Colossi. But he might even not go there. He's gonna recall a few of these units. He's gonna get 1. I guess. If you get 1 guy out, I guess it's still an okay recall. He's gonna lose an Oracle though. So a little bit sloppy with his execution. He's gonna lose a couple more Stalkers, which were rallied to the wrong place and the wrong time. Yeah, Rogue is not gonna let those go. So this Oracle is on. So yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, this is where you see it's a Zerg player playing Protoss. And he's not on point. They don't need an adult to oversee the Zerg players. Oh god. The issue is, yeah, they like it's when you get a council of pro gamers, they are not if pro gamers balance a game, it's gonna become a dice, and the dice has 6 sides, and all of those sides have a number 1. And both players just roll and roll and roll and roll and nothing happens. That's gonna be the optimal balance. And that's what pro gamers would go for in a balance. They don't really follow a vision of, we want to make this game fast-paced, or we want to make it so that a lot of multi-prong is gonna be rewarded much. Something like that, you know? We want to make a game that has a lot of reward in setting up defensive positions, or the other way around, a lot of counter-attacks are amazing kind of thing, you know? They don't have a vision, a view for the game, so that's the big issue. But here we go, first attack from the Zerg player. Rogues finally made it across the map. We do have Storm already done here, so Reynor has his Templars ready here for that Storm. Only has a couple left in that group. That was a great dodge on that stasis, only that 1 Ling, and I love it actually. 1 Ling is providing some vision here against those Storms. Man, that's some great Storms though. Rogue definitely not engaging this correctly, but we're out of Storms now. Maybe he still has too much though. He's biting down his Archons, he's killing out those Stalkers. Nothing really left here for Reynor. Immortals being extremely late to the party. Finally the first one is gonna join here. And he does still have some units, but those Templars, man, if you want to have them recharge energy, you have to pull them back. You can't have them with your army fighting here in the front line. If you want to have them, you make them into Archons. That's when they can stay and fight. This should look like a kill on that base at least. He's gonna maybe snatch the Immortal. Nice pullback here by Reynor. He's gonna save it actually. And double Immortal now joining in here. So now he's sitting at 3 Immortals. That's actually an army you can fight with 3 Immortals, a bunch of Stalkers. Something that could best this. But the Ling support, man, those small amount of Lings streaming in like this, it's a terrible engage for Reynor like that. He simply cannot. Those are buying so much time for these 5 units and then 2 Zerglings to just kill this base and kill all the workers there. It's crazy. Rogue with the exact amount of units in the exact moments he needs them. One Hydra is gonna get sniped here, but yeah, man, Reynor not looking good. He lost so much. Look at this cost efficiency. Oh boy. Oh boy. He really lost a lot there. I mean, when have you ever seen a Roach Ling Hydra player being like 30% more cost efficient than the Protoss player defending with Storm. Oh man, that's when you know the game is dunzos. Okay, at least Rogue didn't expand like a madman behind this, so there's still maybe a chance for Reynor to do something in this game because he has that Storm. And that's the AoE he was going for. But yeah, if Rogue would have taken this base and this base during this, and if he would just start to saturate them now with his overt drones here on these running out, about to mine out bases, he would be freaking cruising. He's already sitting at 80 drones, so he definitely has enough workers to kind of split among 4 to 5 bases. Now he's going into that Adrenal, he's going into those last lurker upgrades. He of course has that hive operational. He has the potential to go into Vipers. I don't think we see some Vipers on the field yet. Yeah, no Vipers out yet, but he can always go into Vipers very fast if he wants to. And that's where things become very messy. He still has those Templars, he has the feedbacks, he has a lot of energy for Storm. But man, one Viper sometimes is all you need, you know, as a Zerg player. One good Blinding Cloud, one perfect grab. Sometimes it's all you need. Now Rogue is just gonna stay on basic units, I guess, and basic units in this case is gonna mean 25 lurkers. It's only 19. But at the same time, he's running in with the links on the left side. Nice warp in here, but Zealots are getting pulled out. No, lurkers are just starting to push in. They're shoving into this location. And the links have another chance. Another warp in. This is gonna save the day. But this base, man, again, it's gonna be gone. Gonna be gone in a second. Now, at least he clears out all of these links. They're not really finding that much value. Damaging a few mortals is not really what you're looking for with those links. But the space. You can't retake the position. You cannot get the space. It's gonna fall. Follow-up is gonna be Spire here. That's a great addition to his tech tree. Another base trying to be set up here by Reynor. This is also when you see this is more like a Terran off-race. But yeah, okay, so that happened. There's a stasis trap which will be seen by the Overseer as well. Could even be in range there of those lurkers here in a moment. Gotta find that one. He's opening up this rock path so he can rotate his army a little bit better. Is he gonna run into that stasis? He doesn't see it currently. It's a normal Overlord. It doesn't... It's not... Oh, yeah! No! No. Reynor. Trying to survive here. Now finally this gets cleaned here. The stasis trap's not gonna go off. Reynor wants to engage this lurker amount, but the Hydra Reinforcers here. I think if you wanted to engage the army, you should have done so already. Now is not the time. He's trying to snipe as many units as he can here on those kind of fringe areas there. But man, 6 more lurkers in addition to the 17 we have, so finally going up to that above 20 count, which I was looking for. That Templar had so much energy, he was full. Yeah, that's where you know, you just throw down storms. Even if you only hit one, like, lurker, you just have to throw down storms, because it doesn't matter, man. You have more energy than you can use anyways. Look at this. Now he's storming. He stormed some of those down, which I don't hate, but you should have done that from the start. Now he's already in such a defensive position. Again, his rally is gonna be interrupted. He's kind of waiting for more and more immortals, but I feel like it's not really what you're looking for. You need to have just a good engage. Now he has a good kind of angle here to possibly overpower these lurkers, but it might just be too many lurkers. We'll see though. The least thing though they will do is, even if they all get killed now, which is gonna happen, they did trade. They don't go out down without a fight. Even though it's gotten a little bit more cost efficient now here for our Protoss player. Oh, this one doesn't have the mod, so we can't see the income graph. But I can assure you, Rogue has been vastly outmining Reynor here. Oh my god, again, a bunch of Templars, no energy, exposed here, losing a couple, 3 already. Oh my, all 5. It's so much gas down the drain here for literally nothing. They did some auto-attacking. It's like probes, even worse. Now he's gonna lose 20 more probes, even maybe even more than 20. He's gonna lose the space again. He's gonna start to run dry here. He's trying to make a counter-attack happen with a few zealots, but man, this is like the only counter-action we have seen from him. And he's gonna lose a prism. Ah! Oh! There was even a probe here. GG's gonna be called. Things not going Reynor's way. Yo, thanks so much for the follows, guys. Love to drop creep. Surprise is not used with a drop lord queen to send advanced creep position for others tonight. Force them to clean to the corners of your hand. Yeah, I mean, if you have that extra APM and the extra focus to do that in that heat of the moment, yeah, of course, something you should do. But it's difficult just to execute. Alright, I need to go pee real quick here. Gonna be right back in just a moment, and then we go into the next map of this best of 3 series, and I can already say to you, it's gonna be a ZVZ this time. Alright, here we are back again. Just give me one more second. Alright. Now, there we go. This time it's gonna be a ZVZ between these two. And here we are. Bottom left it is Rogue, top right it is Reynor. Now Reynor going back to, sorry, of course, Rogue 1-0 up. Reynor going back to his main race. And now being on the restroom there for a second and actually having some time to think. You know, you can always think the best when you're sitting on the toilet or when you're standing under the shower. It's where the most efficient and incredible ideas are born. But I think Rogue might be one of the best players to break off races from other people. Just think about it for a minute. Rogue, what kind of player is he? He's one of the most abusive players you will ever find, specifically for Zerg. He knows how to kill any race, at any point, at any stage of any game. He has such a kind of vast abusive knowledge. He knows like the exact move to completely kill you. That being said, he doesn't know it in any point of the game, or like in all points of the game at any moment, right? He's like not omnipotent, but he kind of knows strategy-wise how to break any other strategy and how to really exploit those. So it feels like he just has so much experience in being exploitive as a player that it might just be too difficult for your off-race player, because you're just lacking that professional experience in this specific situation. I mean, he even breaks people like Maru or something, you know, in best of sevens with his abusive play. He is He breaks people like Clem in best of fives with his abusive play. It's that kind of player you're playing your off race against. He's probably the most abusive guy on this planet in this game, who has been the most successful with that style as well. And that's where you're trying to go into a race that seems overpowered or maybe too strong to you, but in the end, he has way more experience in breaking what you don't even have ever seen or played against, right? So I feel like if you're gonna go off race, you're never gonna play it against Rogue. It's just not. You shouldn't. He's probably the worst opponent for you. Okay, I hope this would get us at least a little bit further into the game, but I mean, we're gonna see a Baneling Nest here rather quickly from Reynor. The other side is gonna be an evolution chamber a little bit hidden behind this mineral line here in the main base, so Baneling Nest can be defensive, of course. Lingbane aggression is the name of the game for a lot of CVZs here. On the other side, that evolution chamber, very early carapace, is not normal. It's not standard. It's a little bit of a different move. And he's going into a Roach Warren with this, so that's double interesting to me. I was kind of starting to think on maybe some kind of Ling attack, you know, survive those Baneling shots, keep those Lings alive, run around with them and stuff like this, but getting Carapace and a Roach Warren, it might be just like a bunch of roaches into a Ling flood all-in. And if Reynor can scout this, he sees no drones here. This is a big tell. He already has the first drones transferring himself. He should know. There should be at least one drone mining there. This is a big tell. Someone like Rogue is gonna have a roach there. He has probably his spidey senses are tingling right now. He's throwing down a Roach Warren. He is getting his +1 attack, which will eventually cancel out those armor upgrades on those Lings. I guess they won't, right? It doesn't really matter for the Ling against Roach fight. It only matters for the Bane against Ling fight, so yeah. I guess it's only gonna be good in the Roach against Roach. Now, let's see how many Roaches are gonna be made here for us loser play. And now he sees this as well. He sees the exact amount of Roaches. He said like 6 Roaches, 7 Roaches. He knows what to get. He's getting into his lair. I think you can keep that one. But you're probably gonna need a few more Banes. You know, all cool and such. If you only have 1 Bane, you might be in trouble against those Lings. If you actually have 2 Banes, it doesn't really matter if they have Carapace or not, because they still gotta die. Now, Reynor is a perfectionist and a minimalist. It's kind of weird to say, but he's one of those guys. He's only gonna make 1 Bane, I can assure you. Not gonna have 2, only gonna have 1. He will always keep 1 Bane. And now Rogue is gambling on that. That's why he made the Carapace. But Reynor is gonna go in, scout again, more roaches coming across the map. Actually not really committing. Rogue is playing this very defensively. He's just harassing the space here in the north. He's even losing that roach. It's a little bit weird. Now he's gonna push in with only roaches here? Lings are not there yet. He tried to snipe that Baneling, but it's kind of hidden between those queens there. Where is it now? There it is. The one hero keeping this army at bay. And now he's just gonna go back into droning. He's going into his own +1, but he's so far behind in economy. And Reynor's going into his Spire. You can make as many roaches as you want, you're never gonna beat the Mythos. You can only go for a base race there. Alright, and the mutas are about to pop. It's only 4 mutas though. But this should scare the hell out of Rogue here. Gonna see those mutas now. Boom, they're gonna clear this one. They can just stay there even. He can just keep 4 mutas over there. He's gonna make a few more. But he could even just keep the mutas over here. So he can freely mine off that base. For a long, long time. And he's gonna clear out all of these overlords. Man, that's like 6 overlords floating around here. There's even one more a little bit further down here. The 6th one. And there's 3 more over here, man. He has a few more over here. Oh my god, Rogue has way too many overlords out on the map. And he's gonna go into big minus supply. Oh, 4 mutas, man. The number 4 means death in Japan. And that's what we're getting here. Death of the overlords. The death of the supply. My god. That was the last one. Now we're looking at 10. That's 1,000 minerals down the drain. Can you come back from this? What's the same meaning in Chinese? Oh, does it? Didn't even know. Very interesting. Now even no Hydras here to defend these roaches, no queens in position currently. Does he even have enough queens? He only has 3 queens, it's only for lava production. He doesn't really have any anti-air. He had a lot of time now to produce things, but I guess he didn't really have money to buy anything aside from overlords. 1,000 minerals there going down that drain. Now these mutas, of course, they also did cost some, but they are still there, right? They're still dealing damage, they're flying across the map, they can still keep this base eternally safe if he ever wants to just pull them back. If he feels like they can't do anything offensively anymore. He could park them over this army to help engage against those links. Now the Banes were stuck behind those behind those roaches. They're gonna settle for 1 Hydralisk, I guess. He's gonna lose the fight here in the north to those roaches. Needs to be a little bit careful. Maybe he can win this. It's gonna be almost an even trade, I feel like. But yeah, this fight here in the south should go to Reynor, and this is the more important one. Because he's gonna find all of these Hydras now, and it will enable him to clear out that base at least. And then he might even be able to take the game from here. He's even gonna take it now, a little bit earlier. So Reynor coming back here in this best of 3 in the second map after the failed off race. Unfortunately, I mean, now he's gonna get this revenge with his main race. At least something going his way. I'm out of juice. Should have grabbed my water. I'm gonna bring it after the next game. Okay. Next map will be Oceanborn. And again, ZVZ. Looking at a 1-1 in this best of 3 series here between these 2 guys. Top right, top left, excuse me, Rogue. Bottom right, Reynor. Both players starting with the name R. Like that does matter. The overlords traversing the map, and we have some downtime here, but yeah, I mean, that was a very clear victory there for Reynor in that last game. I feel like the Rogue all-in definitely not going his way, didn't really find even a point to engage into, so he kind of just fell back into trying to catch up in the economy game, but Reynor was so far ahead, and in ZVZ it doesn't feel like he is someone who would slip up on that lead. He's probably gonna take it and take it home from there. Sometimes we have someone who is very, very good from playing from ahead. And it's kind of weird to say, but in a mirror matchup, it feels like even better if you play from ahead. It feels kind of weird in those non-mirror matchups where you have a lot of players who just play better when they are behind. Some very impactful names probably coming to mind are one of the biggest champion players would be, for example, Dark or Maru. Players who just play better from even a slightly behind position. They just have that more comfortable zone for themselves. And Dark just has that kind of chaos factor going for him, where he's someone, if you don't really want to put Dark in the corner, because then you really don't know what he's gonna do. You're gonna have a really difficult time. In Brute War, Sharp is like that in TVT. I think Sharp is a very, very interesting player. I really wish he would like take it to a little bit, if he can like straighten up his engagement play and his macro just a tiny bit more. It feels like he would be one of the absolute top end players for like a very long time. Like someone going up there with like Soul Key and Flash, you know, climbing that ladder. He just needs like this one extra next evolution step, and then he would be exactly that player. It feels like currently he's more of a technical player, right? Sharp. Like relying a lot of kind of tricky moves or builds that work out good for him, and then he just grabs the lead. And as you said, he's like that in TVT. He's not only like that in TVT, it also works in TVZ for him. If he has that lead, he's not gonna let go. He's just gonna capitalize on it, and he's gonna clear out that series, that victory win for him. Usually, but yeah. Those are very interesting people. Like, most people feel more comfortable being defensive, I guess. And they just play better from behind when they have to be a little bit more defensive, a little bit more conservative with their units. It's easy to throw away a lead, right? Because the defender's advantage is just there. You can't ignore it. You're always taking a risk when you go offensive. Oh my god, if he scouts these. Yeah, he sees them. Wow, those were visible. One of them at least. And that's a good find. Now, Reynor is coming across the map. He's trying to be very aggressive here. He has a bigger amount of lings, but he has no Banes with him. Oh, that would have been a beautiful manual detonation if he would have clicked X on that one. Now he has 2 Banes. I guess he didn't want to lose that Bane in case he needs one, and didn't have the backup one done yet. He's gonna trade 1 Bane for a Bane there, and then he's gonna get the rest with the Queen. That's a good one. Oh, that Bane was only lost though. Now the Queen is exposed. Can he survive? Can he survive? No, he gets the Queen. The Bane finishes off the rest though. The aggression is done, but the Queen was lost. So in the end, I guess you can say it's not really worth it, I feel though, for Reynor. But he made a trade happen with that Queen kill. If he doesn't get the Queen, I think it's terrible. Honestly. But like this, it's okay. You're not satisfied, you wanted to overwhelm with that amount of links. But at least you got the Queen, so you limit the production a little bit. You limit the transfusability a little bit. It's okay. Yeah, there we go. Now trying to go and exploit that production, already making 10 drones here. We do see the lair on the way here for our blue Zerg player. And no lair yet from Reynor. Now +1 missile attack is about to... oh no, it's actually starting. And there should be some roach speed coming in very fast here. Expect to see a 1+1 roach timing here from Rogue in the close future to try and overwhelm Reynor there. Oh no! Not at all, apparently. It's gonna be a Spire. I love the Spire coming kind of back into style a little bit more here recently. Sharp is like the Clem of vultures. That's a great way to put it, yeah. It's definitely his spirit animal. A vulture. Now, can Reynor come in and scout this one? There's no real reason to scout in ZVZ. I mean, you can always throw in some links. There's no real reason to scout in ZVZ if you go offensive yourself. You just go and execute your build, and that's exactly what Reynor is doing right now. He's actually not droning up. He's not teching up. He's just making units. And he's just gonna go across the map. And he's just gonna flood his opponent. Now, Rogue did see this with the Overlords here, of course. He has the vision, and he knows his spy is about to finish. The spine's starting a little bit late, in my opinion, here. He saw the move out, and that's why you kind of need to set those up immediately. Now, they're not going to be done when the units are arriving across the map. And his road speed is also not going to be done. He's not making mutas, so that spy was a complete investment failure here. And I think Reynor's just gonna overwhelm. He has too many units. Roach is even being blocked by a queen. They're not gonna be able to rally and reinforce. And yeah, Rogue is just gonna tap out. Reynor's gonna take the series, gonna throw Rogue out of this round.